Hi everyone. Okay, continuing to show you my DVD collection. This is video 21 now. There is a playlist on my channel so you can follow along that way as well. Here we go. First up, Terrence Malick's excellent The Thin Red Line. Now I do have the Criterion edition of this, but I just kept this Region 2 DVD because it comes with a set of art cards as well. So yeah, just quite a nice set, but yeah, fantastic movie. Absolutely a favourite for most people, I'm sure. This is John Carpenter's The Thing. And I put off watching this for quite a while, but I must admit, this isn't actually too bad. It's not an actual remake, but it's just a sort of complements the original movie. Mary Elizabeth Winstead in this one, but yeah, not too bad. Really love this movie, Disney movie directed by Ken Anakin and starring James MacArthur, Third Man on the Mountain. Just a terrific one, really worth seeing. Got Janet Monroe in this as well. From director Park Chan-wook and starring Song Kang-ho, this is Thirst. Terrific drama this about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Kevin Costner in 13 Days, directed by Roger Donaldson, and a really good performance as well from Bruce Greenwood. 13 Sameti, haven't watched this one yet. Why don't you just make 10 the loudest? Well, this one goes up to 11. This is Spinal Tap, one of the best comedies ever. From director Sidney Pollack, this is This Property is Condemned with Robert Redford and Natalie Wood. And from director Norman Jewison, Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway in the classic The Thomas Crown Affair. A bit of a TV miniseries this, but this is a follow-up to the classic The Thornbirds, which starred Richard Chamberlain. But yeah, this one again has Richard Chamberlain, but Amanda Donohoe also in the cast. Directed by Ken Anakin, and that's Terry Thomas there on the front, those magnificent men in their flying machines. Michelle Pfeiffer and Jessica Lange in 1,000 Acres. Pretty trashy one this, directed by McG. This is Kevin Costner and Amber Heard in 3 Days to Kill. Gerard Butler and Eva Green in Zack Snyder's 300. A really excellent movie this from director Kim Ki-duk. This is 3 Iron. Entertaining one this from David O. Russell, set during the Gulf War. This is George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg and Ice Cube in 3 Kings. Fred Astaire in 3 Little Words. Compilation here of short films from the Three Stooges. Now I know Mike at Movie Edge, he's a big Three Stooges fan, so yeah, I really don't have too much in the way of Three Stooges in my collection. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. I like them in small doses, and yeah, here's some small doses. Absolutely love this one, directed by Delmer Daves. This stars Glenn Ford and Van Heflin. Classic Western, 3:10 to Yuma. And James Mangold's thoroughly decent remake, although I do still prefer the Delmer Daves original. All-star cast that includes Matthew McConaughey and Alan Arkin in 13 Conversations About One Thing. From Die Hard and Predator director John McTiernan, this is Antonio Banderas in The 13th Warrior. And a pretty good vampire one this, 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett and Melissa George. Now I do have the Shorescope box set, but I've kept this anyway. Absolutely fantastic. Gordon Liu in The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Really terrific one this from Shane Meadows. This is England. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see all the various series follow-ups that he did on this. But yeah, I absolutely love this original. TV movie this. This is Personal, about the hunt for the Yorkshire Ripper with Alan Armstrong. And Taylor Sheridan on a bit of an off day, I suppose, but it's still quite entertaining. Angelina Jolie in Those Who Wish Me Dead. Written and directed by Mike Mills. This is Thumbsucker. I really love this movie. Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges and George Kennedy as well in Michael Cimino's Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Good one this as well. This is Val Kilmer, Graham Greene and Sam Shepard in Thunderheart, directed by Michael Apted. A really entertaining opening monologue from Jim Cummings in this one, which he also writes and directs, Thunder Road. And here we have a bit of classic Thunderbirds, Jerry Anderson. Thunderbirds Are Go, and Thunderbird 6. Really good underseen movie this. This is Thunderstorm, put out by the Network label. This is an early film directed by John Gilliman. I have talked about John Gilliman on my channel before. Check out that video. But yeah, I really like this movie. It started here for George Lucas, THX 1138. A really great early role for Colin Farrell in this one, directed by Joel Schumacher, Tigerland. Sleazy detective thriller from 1984, starring Clint Eastwood and Genevieve Bujold. This is Tightrope. And an early role for Mel Gibson, starring alongside Piper Laurie in Tim. Bit of TV here, but this is an excellent limited series that came out a few years ago. Stephen Graham and Sean Bean in a prison drama, Time. And from director Tsui Hark, this is Time and Tide. Entertaining one this from director Nicholas Meyer, and with Malcolm McDowell and David Warner. A bit of time travel involved, with H.G. Wells going in search of Jack the Ripper. Adapted from the John Grisham novel, this was a really good early role for Matthew McConaughey, directed by Joel Schumacher. This is A Time to Kill, also with Sandra Bullock and Samuel L. Jackson. I have Time Cop on Laserdisc, but this is a sequel with Jason Scott Lee, Time Cop 2. And time-travelling archaeologists in Richard Donner's Timeline. Turkish movie from director Reha Erdem, this is Times and Winds. And from director Ron Shelton, who also did Bull Durham, this is Kevin Costner again, with Rene Russo in a golfing drama this time, Tin Cup. Really terrific John le Carré adaptation this, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, directed by Thomas Alfredson, and this one stars Gary Oldman, and a real all-star cast in this as well. But definitely if you enjoy this, then certainly try and see the original Alec Guinness TV role in both Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and Smiley's People. Fantastic. A classic, Titanic from James Cameron. A nice little sort of jazz music drama, this one, set in Greenwich Village and starring the late Gregory Hines. I used to like Gregory Hines. This is the TLC Code. Classic bit of Hitchcock with Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, To Catch a Thief. Early roles for Joaquin Phoenix and Matt Dillon, but it's Nicole Kidman who's the star here in Gus Van Sant's To Die For. Classic bit of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall in Howard Hawks's To Have and Have Not. A really nice 2-disc edition here of the classic To Kill a Mockingbird, starring Gregory Peck, one of his absolute great roles. This edition comes with a whole set of art cards reproducing all the various posters. But yeah, nice one. Really good one this. Sidney Poitier is a school teacher in the East End of London in the 60s. This is To Sir with Love. And late period Hammer horror, this is To the Devil a Daughter with Christopher Lee and Nastasia Kinski. A meandering one this from Terrence Malick, To the Wonder with Ben Affleck. And from Swedish director Lukas Moodysson, this is Together. A late career role here for Steve McQueen in the western Tom Horn. A classic performance from Albert Finney in Tom Jones, also with Susanna York, directed by Tony Richardson. From director George Pancosmatos and starring Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer and Michael Biehn, this is the classic western Tombstone. And Ken Russell's classic rock opera written by The Who, this is Tommy, also with Anne Margaret and Oliver Reed. Great to see Sandra Hüller lately getting so much attention for Anatomy of a Fall and The Zone of Interest, but this is the first film I saw her in, absolutely fantastic, Tony Erdmann. Gérard Depardieu and Carole Bouquet in Trop Belle Pour Toi, Too Beautiful for You. Cameron Mitchell in the 1977 horror movie The Toolbox Murders. And fun one this from director Sidney Pollack. This is Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange in Tootsie. Limited series TV this, directed by Jane Campion, starring Elizabeth Moss, Top of the Lake. And from the Airplane team, this one stars Val Kilmer, this is Top Secret. Trivia fact here, my grandmother actually saw some of the filming of this and was very confused when she just saw cows walking in a field with Wellington boots on. She had no idea what was going on. But yeah, it turns out it was the filming of Top Secret. A bit of TV here actually. This is the first 4 episodes of Topper, starring Leo G. Carroll. Great movie this from director Mike Leigh about Gilbert and Sullivan. This is Jim Broadbent and Timothy Spall in Topsy Turvy. Classic war movie from 1970 directed by Richard Fleischer. This is Tora, Tora, Tora. And another very early film from director John Guillermin, who went on to do King Kong and the Towering Inferno. This is a little scene British thriller called Torment, and John Guillermin actually wrote this one as well. Paul Newman and Julie Andrews in Hitchcock's Torn Curtain. And for director Paul Verhoeven, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. From 1973, this is George Segal and Glenda Jackson in A Touch of Class. In a horror movie here from director Lucio Fulci, this is Touch of Death. Superb one from Orson Welles with that amazing opening tracking shot. Touch of Evil, also starring Charlton Heston. I did a separate video on my channel about this one. Fantastic documentary involving the incredible percussionist Evelyn Glennie. This is Touch the Sound. I really can't recommend this one. This is a bit of TV with Keith Allen going on a day trip to France with a whole load of Tourette syndrome sufferers, Tourette de France. French one directed by Alain Corneau with Gérard Depardieu. This is Tous les matins du monde. And from 1974, directed by Claude Lelouch and starring Marta Keller. This is Toute une vie and Now My Love. One of the great disaster movies from the 70s, and this one directed by John Guillermin. This is Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, and an all-star cast in The Towering Inferno. And from director Peter Chelsom and starring Warren Beatty and Diane Keaton, this is Town and Country. And war movie adapted from the novel by Neville Shute, this is A Town Like Alice with Peter Finch and Virginia McKenna. And from 1961, this is Kirk Douglas in Town Without Pity, playing an attorney who's called in to deal with 4 enlisted men who are accused of attacking a 16-year-old girl. Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2. Now I think I do actually have Toy Story 1, 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. And Toy Story 4. The final film from director John Guillermin is this little scene western that's got Chris Christopherson and Scott Wilson, The Tracker. Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy in the classic Trading Places from John Landis. And a good desert one this, directed by John Curran, Mia Wasikowska and Adam Driver in Tracks. Absolutely love this movie, one of my favourite Burt Lancaster performances. This is John Frankenheimer's The Train. Great poster art as well. From Danny Boyle, this is Trainspotting. And its sequel, Trainspotting 2. Felicity Huffman in Transamerica, and Jason Statham in Transporter 1 and 2, as well as Transporter 3. And then we have Ed Skrein taking over for the Transporter Refueled. Classic Disney adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island, directed by Byron Haskin, who also directed War of the Worlds. And a bit of Walt Disney animation, Treasure Planet. And then written and directed by Steve Buscemi, this is Trees Lounge. Okay, I will pause it again there. So yeah, let me know your comments on any of those movies, and stay tuned as well for video number 22 when it comes. So yeah, there's a playlist on my channel. Follow along that way. Let me know your thoughts. All the best to you. See you again. Bye.